गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितं उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपारपङ्कजम् आपदामवार्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भयनाशनं दिशतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वीरसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय रामपते नमः पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं गोष्पदीकृतवारेशं वटकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे लीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्. We were in Nandigrama. Where almost the entire city of Ayodhya has gathered to welcome the returning monarch of Ayodhya, Sri Rama. We saw last time the hectic preparations that were launched by Bharata and Shatrughna, the leveling of the roads, the smashing of the rocks, the decoration of the mansions by the royal highway, the marshalling of all the key people, of the generals, of the leaders of the different guilds, all of them in the middle of the night being woken up, being heralded. All of them were thousands of elephants, entire army, all of them marshaled to go to Nandigrama to welcome Sri Rama, and we saw him arriving in the Pushpaka Vimana. Bharata, desperate, worried that is taking more time, and then is arriving. We saw the greeting. The Bharata prostrating to Rama, we saw all that. And we ended up with a scene from Raghuvamsha of Kalidasa, where when Bharata goes and puts his head on Sita's feet, Kalidasa proclaims, is this greater or is that greater? Lankeshwar pranati bhanga dradhav ratam tat vandyam yugam charnayo janakatmajaya jeshtaru vritti jatilam bashirosya sadhu anyonyam pavanamabhutu ubhayam sametya. That those feet of Janaki, which are Dhrida Vratham, against the 20 heads of Ravana that bowed to it, or the head of Bharata, which was weighed down by years of matted coils of devotion to Sri Rama during those years of separation. Each one was making, by the touch of that head to her feet, each was making the other, sanctifying the other. So that's where we left last time. We continue from there now. For a moment we will again go to Kamban. This is Rama, when he saw Bharata, when he saw him from the Pushpaka Vimana, Rama was still in the Pushpaka Vimana, he saw him. Just the first sight of Bharata itself overwhelmed Rama. It was the same feeling that he experienced when he saw his father come down from heaven to the battlefield of Lanka. That overwhelming feeling he got when he saw Bharata. And then he saw also all the others who were there from the Vimana. He could see his mothers, all the citizens of Ayodhya. And how did they feel when they saw Rama? It's a beautiful verse of Kamban. He says, தாயருக்கு அன்று சார்ந்த கன்று எனும் தகையல் ஆனான் மாயையின் பிரிந்தோர்க்கு எல்லாம் மனோலயம் வந்தது ஒத்தான் ஆய் இளையார்க்கு கண்ணுள் ஆடு இரும் பாவையானான் நோயுறுத்து உலர்ந்த யாக்கைக்கு உயிர் புகுந்தாலும் ஒத்தான். For the mothers, தாயருக்கு, for them it felt like being reunited with a calf. In a cattle fair of Tiruvannamalai, so to say, in those days there would be 50,000 cows during Kartika Purnima. The calf will get separated. In that crowd of cows, how to find its mother, mother will be desperate. But they'll find each other. It'll shout, it'll move, that will move. Somehow in that they'll locate each other. In fact, that is given by our elders as one of the drishtanta for karma. As soon as the person is born, the relevant karma will come and catch it, wherever it is born. So the mothers, it was like long lost calf has come and suddenly it got reunited. There's some amount of study being done recently, although in India is ancient science, but in Western world there's some amount of study being done about the emotions of animals. They're as emotional as human beings, except they don't speak. Somehow tend to think that they are lesser. They're not so. They're highly emotional. They go through all the emotions that you and I go through. So, தாயருக்கன்று சார்ந்த கன்று என்னும் தகையனானான் மாயையின் பிரிந்தோர்க்கு எல்லாம் மனோலயம் வந்ததொத்தான். மாயையின் பிரிந்தோர்க்கு, for those who have freed themselves from the shackles of Maya. But then, even then, they have not found that which they seek. For them, when they saw Sri Rama, it was saying that supreme Paramatman that they were eternally seeking. That one was there in front of them as Sri Rama, where the mind can get completely decimated in that presence, which is the most beautiful presence of the Paramatma. ஆயடையார்க்கு கண்ணுள் ஆடி இரும்பாவையானான். For the famished younger brothers, Bharata, Shatrughna and all that. To see Rama was as if, they had eyeballs before, but they didn't have the pupil, two black pupils that came. Suddenly the eyes had. Two black pupils back, they could see. And to all others, it is like those. There is somebody whose body is completely dried up because of illness, near dead. They are lying down. Don't know dead or alive. Then somewhere life comes in and gets into that body. Like that it was to see when they saw Sri Rama. So there was Rama in the Pushpaka Vimana and all these people were waiting for him. Kamban is so much logged on to the mood of the occasion that he sees first to climbing into the Pushpaka Vimana are the three mothers. Then he sees the brothers along with them, climbing in. And then immediately alongside is Guru Vasishtha. He is also climbing into the chariot. That's all. Rest of the people are not jumping in from all sides. So what does Rama do? He first falls flat at the feet of the Guru. Vasishtha, the great sage Vasishtha's feet, who blesses him and he embraces him again and again. Lakshmana too falls flat at Vasishtha's feet. And Vasishtha showers his blessings on him and holds him in a very affectionate hug. So having prostrated, fallen flat at Vasishtha's feet and having been blessed by him and embraced by him, Rama then turns to his mothers. And he first goes and touches Kaikeyi's feet. Before turning to the other two. This only a God can do. Imagine what it meant to Kaikeyi. All the mothers apparently bathed him with their tears. Huh? Bathed him with their tears. So too did they bathe Sita with their tears. And they blessed Lakshmana, all the mothers blessed Lakshmana heartily. Long may you live, long may you live. Come on. So coming back to Valmiki, Bharata then having paid his respects to Rama and to Sita and to Lakshmana as well, having embraced Lakshmana. Then on Rama's direction and Hanuman's direction, perhaps he goes and one by one, he embraces Sugriva, Jambavan, Angada, Mainda, Duvida, Neela, Rishabha. all the ape chiefs and the bear chiefs one by one. Sushena, Nala, Gavaksha, Gandhamadana, Sarabha, Pranasa. In Bharata's case, it is the immense gratitude that he feels for all of them. That said, it is also the sensitivity of a great leader. In day-to-day life itself, you will notice you miss someone, that person will never forgive you. You acknowledge 3 people, by chance you missed a 4th or a 5th. Finished. They'll hold it against you forever in their life. You yourself will do it if somebody doesn't acknowledge you. Out there, I only did all. Bharata, one by one, he went and met each of the ape leaders and embraced them. The king of Ayodhya he was, Bharata, at that point in time. And Valmiki says the apes actually, who could assume any form at will, at the time of meeting Bharata, now they had all transformed themselves to human forms. So they were good looking. Good looking stars they were. And then he embraced, particularly went back to Sugriva, embraced him again and told him, Tumasmakam Chaturnam Vai Bhrata Sugriva Panchama Sauhrata Jayate Mitram Apakarori Lakshanam. Tumasmakam Chaturnam Vai Bhrata Sugriva Panchama. Sugriva, you are, for us 4 brothers, you are now the 5th. You are our 5th brother in our family now. It is out of help and affection that friendship is born. And out of malice and ill will and injury, those are the signs of an enemy. So he calls him our brother. You are our 5th brother. The commentators, some of the elders point out that the Sahurda Jayate Mitram Apakaro Harilakshanam, that is, out of affection and goodwill, etc., friendship is born. Out of ill will and malice, those are the signs of enmity. In a common definition form, a friend who is so helpful and so affectionate towards you is sometimes more of a brother than a brother who is actually has got ill will and malice towards you. Who could be your enemy in a real sense? We see enough of it. Bharata then spoke to Vibhishana and said, Dhishtya tvaya sahayena kritam karma sudushkaram. It's by a great good fortune that with you are there and with your help, the most impossible of tasks, it has been possible to accomplish. Meanwhile, unnoticed, Shatrughna was doing his. He was prostrating to Rama and to Sita and to Lakshmana. And Rama came to his desolate mother Kausalya, who had gone, become all bones, not much else. She was there alive, holding on to life. One day Rama will come. He apparently went and clasped her feet. Valmiki says, simply got hold of her feet in his hands. He put his head there and it was happiness coursed through her entire being at that moment. And the people, the citizens of Ayodhya, they said to Rama, Swagatam te Mahabaho Kausalyananda Vardhana iti pranjane sarve nagara Rama Udruvan. Swagatam te Mahabaho, all of them say, welcome, 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 O Rama, mighty arm. Tyananjali sahasrani pragrihitani nagarehi akoshani vapadmani tadasya varadagrita. And this was a sea of people. Sea of citizens and army, soldiers, etc. who were there. All of them, how loud Swagatam coming from them to Rama. And all of them with their hands up. Anjalin. Tan Anjali Sahasrani. Thousands and thousands of upheld hands like that. It looked like a sea of lotuses. Rama looked around, it was like a massive garden of lotuses. Padmani. And now the time was right. Bharata was having the sandals, the padukas of Rama. He knew what was the just and proper thing to do at what time, etc. Bharata. He went taking those sandals. He took Rama's feet and he put it. And having put it, he said with folded hands, Edatte sakalam rajyam nyasam niryatitam maya adya janma kritartham me samvritascha manortah yatvam pashyami rajanam ayodhyam punaragatam. Edatte sakalam rajyam nyasam niryatitam maya. Here is your kingdom, the whole kingdom of yours, which I am returning to you, which you have given me. In lean, it was not mine. It was yours. I was just keeping it in proxy, taking care of it when you are not there. That is all nyasam. I am returning it to you. And today I feel that my birth has been purposeful. I have attained the purpose of having been born. Kaikeyi's birth has born to Kaikeyi. That birth is now, I see that it is now achieved fruition. Because I see you come back to Ayodhya as king. And then he put his head on his Rama's feet. Someone says on this scene, Nindra Nambi, that is Raghava, Rama was standing. Shevadi Irandum Anpum Adiyarayaga Chetti Tiruvadi, that is, he had Shevadi, the two padukas he had deposited back at the feet of Sri Rama. Those are not just the two, he was not just giving the two padukas. Those padukas were complete with full, his entire love was with it. His love and the padukas were now given to the feet of Rama. பூவடி பணிந்து விழுந்த பாதனை பரதனை தன் மலர் போன்ற அடிகளில் பொறுமை விம்மி. Rama, apparently when Bharata fell at his feet like this, he broke down and vimming.
Emotion.
You have to see a baby cry to understand how that cry is. Whole body cries. Like that Rama broke down and wept. Navidai ureppadu ondrum unarthilam. They could not read, no words. Rama could not find words to speak. He could not speak. Aliyadu Shorma. Yeah, wept. Broke down. Aviyum udalum ondu thaluvinan, and then he embraced Bharata as if the body and the soul was now coming together. Avekshatam bhavam kosham koshtagaram griham balam bhavatas tejasa sarvam krutam dashagunam maya. Bharata tells Rama, please inspect the treasury. Please inspect. By your grace, koshtagaram griham balam. The army, the treasury, the economy, by your tejas, it has been made to grow tenfold. Dashagunam maya. This one has been able to grow at tenfold by your grace. So, when Bharata spoke this and all this was happening, Vibhishana and the other ape chiefs all had tears in their eyes. And they saw all that. And Raghava was so pleased. He took Bharata on his lap and said, okay, let's go. And the Pushpaka Vimanam started moving down on the road. It was like a car going now. Limousine or whatever you want to call it. It was going down and they reached the hermitage where Bharata was, that place where he was actually staying. They went there. They all got down and Rama said, Bhavai Shravanam Devan Anujanami Gamyata. He told the Pushpaka Vimana, travel. You may now go and serve Kubera. Having been discharged, the Pushpaka Vimana took off into the air, turned north, and went off to Kailash. Purohitastasyatmasakasya raghavo brahaspate shakraivaamaradhipah Nipidya padau pratagāsani shubhe saiva tenopavivesha vidyavan. Now that they had entered the hermitage, Rama again turned towards Guru Vasishtha. Again he clasped his feet. There was a special seat arranged for the Guru. He made Vasishtha sit on it. There was an asana for Rama by its side. There was another asana where Rama sat. Vasishtha, Valmiki called Vasishtha Purohitaha, Tasya Atma Sakha. For Rama, Vasishtha he valued Vasishtha as his own self. They both were occupying, like Lord Indra sitting with Brihaspati. The two of them sat and they started discussing matters. Then starts the sarga of Rama Pattabhisheka. So when they are discussing, Vasishtha and Rama are discussing. So our commentators say, elders, that Rama would not enter Ayodhya without Bharata asking. Bharata is king. Without his permission, he would not go inside Ayodhya. He doesn't say so. He is simply sitting and talking with Vasishtha. Bharata understands. It's a problem of life. I'll fail every time. If I was to understand and act based on things unsaid. That needs a sensitive mind which is taking in the entire thing, understanding, etc. So where great people will not tell you. Maybe one eye look they would have conveyed and you have to understand. A huge crowd will be there. Acharya will be sitting on stage doing puja. He may cast his eyes around who all have come. You are standing 1 in 100 there. You don't know. Somebody next to you says, no, he saw you. How do you know? No, he saw you. I saw. That's sensitive. Or, not only he saw you, he told you not to go to wait. Where? Didn't say anything. That's from the stage. No, you have to wait. So I say, Rama is chatting. Bharata realizes that now, next step has to go forward. He goes, hands clasped above his head. He speaks to Rama. Ujita mamika mata dattam rajyamidam mama taddadami punastubhyam yatha tamadada mama. Rama, you gave this kingdom to me. You gave this kingdom to me because you treated the words of my mother with great respect. You consider her words to be worshipful and therefore you went off for exile and he gave the kingdom to me. And not just that. When I came back from Chitrakuta, you had told me Bharata had told him, you don't come back after 14 years, I will go into the fire. This he had told him, finally. I will wait 14 years, not one day more. If I don't see you on that day, I am gone. Rama said, that's fine, but if you don't treat your mother well, I will not come back. So here the commentator said it also means, Bharata is saying that I have treated my mother with great respect. All these 14 years, because of your orders, I have treated her with great respect. Now, my part of the deal also has been done. So, I am giving back to you your kingdom which you gave to me and you have to take it. Both sides. There is no conditions left to fulfill. Durameka kinanyastam rishabhena baliyasa kishoravat gurum bharam nabodhumaham utsahe. There is a huge ox. That ox is loaded with some heavy weight. That ox, the weight is taken off that ox and put on a small calf. Baby calf is there, put on it. How will the calf be able to carry that weight? He says, just as much as the impossible and totally distinct, not capable of carrying that weight, that is my situation. I am like that calf in whom the weight which should have been in you has been put on me. I cannot carry it anymore. I have no interest in carrying it. Utsahe. I have no enthusiasm. I cannot. Impossible for me. I cannot shoulder that burden. Varivegeena mahata bhinna seturivaksharam durbandhanam idam manye rajyam machchitra samvritam. I consider it impossible to keep in check the breaking forces that break up a kingdom unless a superior binding force actually holds it together. I find it impossible to keep these viciparies, these breaking forces under check. Even as a dam which is breached by a flood, it's impossible to stop it from being washed away unless there is a bund which is built all around it. I think you understand what I am saying now. Gatim kharaiva shvasya hamsasye vachavaya sanametu utsahe veeratava marga marindama. Gatim kharaiva shvasya. There's a mule. Mule is trying to imitate the walk of a horse. Or a crow is trying to imitate the walk of a hamsa, of a swan. I cannot aspire to follow your walk, Rama. I cannot aspire to follow in your way. There is a tree. Somebody plants a nice tree in their garden, in their courtyard. They plant a tree. The tree grows nice, good. It grows, it's a fruiting tree. Good fruits are to come. It grows nicely, stout, unclimbable trunk, many branches. And then, having grown tall, it flowers also. But it does not give fruit and it dries off, the tree. If you don't take the kingdom back, this will be the state. What use is the tree to the one who planted it if it never doesn't give any fruit at all? So to say that Ayodhya planted you, could almost saw you becoming the king, you didn't. And now if you don't actually take up the kingdom, you would have, there's nothing there. The fruit of the kingdom would never have realized. I hope you understand, you can understand the meaning. Let the whole world see you crowned today, O Rama, blazing like the midday sun. Madhyamne dhita tejasam. Turi sanghati ghoshai, kanchino purnisvanai, madurai gita shabdai pratibudhyasva sheshvata. Let you be now, from this day on, be woken up in the morning to the sound of many hand drums and the tinkling of nupuras, anklets, to the tinkling of the girdle bells. Nupura is girdle bell. Kanchi is other way. Kanchi is girdle bell. Nupura is the anklet. Kanchi nupura, this one is. To the sound of girdle bells and anklets, and to Madurai Gitai Shabdaischa, to the sound of melodious songs. For you from today, wake up in the morning. The kings are woken up like that. Now all of us can be woken up like that. With the mobile phone, and you can set up those tunes. Mixture of all these sounds that he talks about. Yavadavartate chakram yavate cha vasundara tavattvamiha sarvasya swamitvam manuvartaya. So, although Valmiki doesn't say, the Rasikas say The drama is, he said, you must now take over the kingdom, all that is fine. You must wake up to the sounds of music, all that is fine. But what is it? Does it mean that, please come, you take over the kingdom, you rule for a while? I have done rule for a while, now it's your turn, you rule for a while, then maybe Lakshmana can rule for a while, then Shatrugna can rule for a while. Is that what I mean? Just to clear any such doubt, Bharata is saying, Yavad avartate chakram yavati cha vasundhara tavattam isarvasya swamitvam anvarteya. As long as the earth lasts, as long as the planets move around in their orbits, so long should you be the lord of this land. Rama said, assented, he said Tatheti, and therefore was set forth the next steps for the Pattabhishekam. Rama apparently insisted Bharata should have his bath first. Both of them were in matted locks and all that. So he said, you first. I don't know, the commentators say that during Deepavali, the father always tells the child, you must have it first. I don't see that happening, but apparently they say that. Normally fathers seem to be having it first now. So he says, no, you have first, then Lakshmana, etc., Sugriva, all of them, then I'll have. So they did that. Then Shatrugna was given some task. Tatha Shatrugna vachana nipuna shmashu vardhaka sukharasta sushighra charadvam paryupasate. Rama's son came. Tatha Shatrugna vachana nipuna shmashu vardhaka. Sugriva called for and organized Nipuna, skilled Shmashu hairdressers for Rama, to work on Rama. First thing is, the word Shmashu means not hair cutter, it means hair grower. People who take care of the growth of hair. They are not there to take care of the cutting of hair. It's a different view of what that occupation is about. Nipuna, skilled hairdressers, he organized. How are they? They have to untangle the hair of Rama, 14 years, tangle, and then trim it and make it proper so that the lords, kings, hairdresser. How are they? Sukhahasta. The very hand gives sukham. Put the hand on the hand, you go to sleep. Oh, that. Sukhahasta. At the same time, sushighra, quick. Like you go to Tirupati. Grand. 3 swipes and the fellow is born. You cannot believe it. How did it go? Where did it go? But in the 3 swipes, the baby would have created hell racket. Sushighra, quick. Paryupasata, they served Rama. And Ram Dikshit says, when he explains this verse, what degree did these people have? MA? We seem to think that everybody should have a degree. Education is learning that. In the Guru's presence, his Guru has taught him, his father would have taught him, he has learned it. In 1958 he said, everybody wants to do a degree now. You give this fellow who has done MA, you give him 5 rupees, tell him to go buy vegetables, he loses that money also, he loses the pie also, he'll come back, he doesn't know how to buy vegetables in the market. What degree is talking about? I don't know how to buy vegetables. He is saying that no, you should not take it wrong. My students, all of them with Shikha, etc., they are saying you should study English. So I am telling, not that I have anything against English, you all study, but they are doing well. So this Sukha Hasta, Sushigra, Spashuvardaka, all this. Skilled hairdressers, untangling Rama's hair, trimming it with Sukha Hasta, hands that give Sukham Sushigraha quickly. They worked on Rama's hair to make him ready for the coronation. That was Rama. Pratigalmajaramasya karayamasa viryavan Lakshmanasya lakshmiman ishvakukulavardhana Pratikarmajaramasya karayamasa viryavan Shatrugna. Pratikarma means the adornment, the personal adornments that need to be done for the coronation. The Rama will have to be adorned. They have to work on him now before they can put him up for the Pattabhishek. Hair done, body has bath done, adornment, Pratikarma Ramasya. And for Lakshmana as well, parallelly, Lakshmana also has to be, all this has to be done. 14 years, they completely lost touch with all this. So they have to, somebody has to take charge here. So Shatrugna made arrangements for the personal adornment of Rama and Lakshmana. Again, skilled adorners of royalty would have come and they are worked on Rama to put all that. Now, of course, there is Sita, right? Something has to be done for her, poor thing. Pratigalmacha Sitaya Sarva Dasaradastriya Atmanaiva Tadachakru Manasvinyo Manoharam. Valmiki gives us these gems. He says Dasaradastriya Manasvinyo, the Dasarata's wives, that is Kausalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra and others, royal ladies, they did it themselves for Sita. It's Atmanaiva. Shatrugna, he had organized some people to do for Rama. No, this we are to ourselves. Atmanaiva. They themselves took it that personally we have to do this for Sita. So they all got into the act together. Manoharam, pleasing choices. Every pleasing choice for Sita they did, lovingly decorating her beautifully. It is. Then Valmiki exalts himself next. He says, Tato Vanarapatninam Sarvasameva Shobhanam Chakarayatnat Kausalya Prahrishta Putravatsala. Now it is all the Vanarapatnis, the queens of the apes. They are all coming from the coronation. No, their beautification, whatever you call it, all that has to be known. Who is to do that? So Kausalya herself personally did that, it seems. Putravatsala, because of her love for her son. Son's this thing. Dikshidhar points out, Valmiki what a word he has used in this verse. Chakarayatnat Kausalya. The fond mother, Putra Vatsala, Rama's fond mother, Chakara Yatnat Kausalya. She took all effort in that, making up this Vanara Patni. It was not an easy task. Vanara Yatnat. These days, the crop which was Shauri, short hair, boundaries. You have to know to tie up on this thing, put flowers, put the jewelry on top, do this, do that. One after another, so many Vanarapatnis are there, Kausalya walking up and down. She has to take care of the entire arrangement, not one Vanarapatni should be missed in this, etc. It's a Yatnat Kausalya. That is by effort. Then Sumantra the charioteer, directed by Shatrughna, yoked the royal horses to the chariot, a dazzling chariot looking like the sun. He brought it to the presence of Sri Rama, who is now all decked up, hair trimmed, adorned, all of that. Lakshmana is decked up, all are decked up. Rama, he got on to that marvelous chariot. And after Rama got on, Sugriva and Hanuman. Sugriva and Hanuman both apparently now fully decked up. Bath are done, and they're wearing celestial robes, it seems. Fine robes. And never in our tradition and in Valmiki Ramayana, I said never miss to mention one fact, and wearing glorious ear pendants. If you are not wearing ear pendants, you are not dressed. Apparently. Till one generation back, even men all were wearing kundala. Makara kundala is Vishnu. It gives a certain character that you may not have otherwise. Feel good. Turban, Kadakkan, Tirnir, gives you presence. Now, so they were all that. Jewelry, Hanuman, Sugriva wearing all jewelry, Kadakkan, all that. They were there. Then Sita, she was in her own chariot, it looks like, at this point in time. And all these Vanarapatnis that Kausalya had exerted herself in making them. They are all also along with her. They are all with Sita eager now. Let's go. We have to see Ayodhya. They are busy. They are all Sita saying, we are going. So they are all getting into that. And Kamban says, to all the world, these Vanarapatnis are looking like Apsaras. They all put on human form, they taken human form, they're looking beautiful like Apsaras. Even then, they look, with Sita, they look like stars around the moon. And the march progressed. Now the march started towards Ayodhya. As the march progressed, in Ayodhya, Kamban says, in the royal stables of Ayodhya, where the horses are there, the horses in the royal stables of Ayodhya had not made any sound for 14 years. Very sad. They started neighing. Oh, As if some dumb person has been suddenly gifted with speech and I start shouting. The horses in the royal stables of Ayodhya, they started neighing. The trees on the way started flowering out of turn, it seems. Tomorrow they all started flowering. The men and women who were there, they are all staggering in bliss, as if they are drunk. Staggering in bliss. So crazy, Kaman says, even those people who habitually were such that they would totally avoid any makeup like sandal paste and scent, etc. There are a few people who don't use scent nowadays. So there are some men. Like that in Ayodhya also there are some men who don't use scents. And they don't use sandal paste. Even their madness, their intoxication of bliss, they ulpified, they put so much of it that they were having twice as much as what normal people were habitually using. Double that they had put in their came. Kaman says. That goes on till date actually. We can see. Everything will be perfect. Last minute it takes so much powder. The fun one, as if somebody come out of a skin of some calcium or something. Dandruff all looks like that in the face. But it comes from that experience. Seeing Rama, some birth, they saw him going that thing.
Yeah.
They do. Scent, etc. Double report. You suddenly hits you when you walk past somebody. They have an atmosphere walking with them. Like that, these people. Kaman says, like these horses, the lovely, beautiful women of Ayodhya. When Rama had gone into exile, they had also gone into mental exile, seclusion. So somehow they were carrying on. Now this Rama has come back, the coronation would happen. They rummaged their treasury cupboard, etc., took out all the best of jewelry and all that. My God, each of them pulled out their best, wore them up and looked for their husbands so that they can entice them, it seems. Kaman says. Now suddenly they realize, 40 years later, where is the husband? They're looking for him. Now, they look for his husband, meanwhile, Kaman says, these devas had also come down and devas and the husbands, men, they were all moving the crowd together. And the devas, by mixing with these human beings, they were acquiring the smell of a human. And their celestial fragrance, etc., was rubbing off on the human being. So the human fellows were all walking around with, slightly divine scents and fragrance, etc. They came home like that. And then the wife smelled that, this fragrance, what is this? So they smelled this fragrance, they got highly suspicious and sulking and saying, where? Kaman says, where have we been, who have we been meeting, etc. They started, this smell, you never had. What is this scent? Etc. Doesn't know any scent. Where is he coming with scent from? So, sulking is only coming back with it now. So, meanwhile, in Ayodhya, the ministers had met with the Purohita and they had discussed what next to be done and they had given the right orders, etc. They told the Purohita that please do all that is necessary, prelude, auspicious rites that needs to be done, etc. and all of that. Hariyuktam Sahasraksho Ratamindra Ivanaga Prayo Ratamataya Ramo Nagaramuttamam. Rama was riding to Ayodhya and we leave with how was it right? जग्राह भरतो रश्मि शत्रुघ्न छत्रमादते लक्ष्मणो व्यजनं तस्य मूर्ति संजीवयन् तदा श्वेतं च बालव्यजनं जगृते परितः स्थितः अपरं चन्द्रसङ्काशं राक्षसेन्द्रो विभीषणः. So how did the chariot was to move? Sumantra had brought the chariot, Rama had got him. We saw that Hanuman and Sugriva in celestial robes had followed. Before it was to start, Bharata came to Sumantra, told him, get him. Sumantra got down, he got it, he took the reins. I'm going to drive, he said. Jagraha Bharato Rashmi, he grabbed the reins. Shatrughna grabbed the royal umbrella. He held it for Rama. Lakshmano Vyajanam Tasya Mudnim Sanjeevayan Sada Shetam Cha Vyala Vyajanam Jagrihe Paritah Sthitah. Lakshmana, with one hand, he was fanning the head of Rama with a white fly whisk or whatever you call it. With the other hand, with a moon-like fly whisk, he was doing probably one or two, I'm not very clear, it looks to me he was doing with both hands. And the other side, the fly whisk was being held by Rakshasena Vibhishana. This is the scene that Valmiki brings as the chariot moves towards Ayodhya. On that note, we'll conclude here today. Har Namo Parvati Pate.
Har Har Mahadeva.
Kanta Smaranam.
Jai Jai Rama Rama.
Gopika Jivana Smaranam.
Govinda Govinda.
Shri Muruganak.
Har Har